I'm Amelie with Systematic Excellence Consulting, and today I'm going to go over ClickUp notification settings. So, all things notification settings. All right, so to get to the notification settings, we're just going to click on the little circles down here, go to notifications, and this is my account settings, and this is the workspace settings. Workspace settings, you might have more than one workspace. That would be over here, so you can create and add workspaces here, or maybe someone adds you to their workspace. This applies to the workspace. This applies to my account. So I'm going to go to notifications, and there's a bunch of choices for notifications. And I think that one of the most important things is deciding how you're going to, or what works best for you to receive the notifications. So for me personally, I don't like to receive emails about the notifications. I prefer them to be in what they call the web, basically in app, in the notification center, which I'll be going over in another video, in my next video actually. Browser notifications are like the ones that pop up on the screen. So you can see right here, it says, do I want to enable those? I personally don't like those. I have set a schedule for myself of when I check ClickUp, and it's certain times of day. I have the app on my phone, and I use it when I'm away, but I spend most of my time working at my computer in the app, essentially, on my computer. So I definitely don't want sounds. If you want sounds or pings or whatever, you can set that. The way I'm going to show you is what I prefer, but this is very personal to you and what you like to see and not see. So for me, like I said, I don't personally like getting emails, so I will make sure that those are all unchecked. They can go to mobile. I don't mind them going to mobile. That's fine. I just don't want any sounds on mobile. But now this is going to have sounds. I don't want sounds, so I'll do that. The other thing is I don't want it to go to the browser. I'm not going to enable browser notifications, so I'll unclick those. And then you want to just go through this. So these are all comments, whether these are comments assigned to you, or maybe you left a comment and someone resolved it. And I'll be going over comments and things like that in other videos, but people can assign comments to you. And so do you want to get a notification every time someone resolves a comment? Do you want notifications when comments are assigned to you? Which for me, I would want that. Maybe not all assigned comments. Now this one you have to select automatically. Resolved comments, maybe you don't want that. Maybe you don't need that. I'll leave it on for now. Comments you're mentioned in, I would want that. Comments assigned to me, and any new comments. Maybe you don't want new comments going to the mobile app. Reactions, things like that. You can turn that off or turn it on. Okay, so tasks. This will be notifying you if there's new tasks created, if the assignee changes, if they're like every time a new task is closed, if it's set to recurring, you'll get a notification for that. So maybe you don't want the reoccurring notification, so you can just unclick the ones that you don't want, or click if you do want them. Some of these they make you select. So status changes, that's like changing, the status is essentially the levels or the processes that you would move tasks through. So if you want that every time that's changed, you can get a notification about that. And so you can go through each of these and decide on what you want to be notified about. Maybe some of them, if you have a team, maybe there's certain people that have a specific role of managing tasks and things like that. So they'll want, dependencies waiting on blocking, unblocked, maybe they'll want those kinds of notifications, but you won't. Then you can just uncheck those, and then the person on your team can check them. Or maybe you do want those. And so just going through all of these, I do think it's important to get notifications about when you're mentioned in a task or a task has been assigned to you. I think that that is important, but maybe not attachment changes. You know, if something changed on it, maybe you don't want to get a notification about that. Okay, so I would just go through line by line and figure out what it is that you want to be informed on. Maybe you don't need to know when a custom field's been changed, and then you can just uncheck it. Now, if part of your process is dependent on a custom field change, then you might want to have a notification that goes to your notification center for that. These are notifications about start and end dates. If things are overdue, you can decide on how you want to get reminded. So do you want to be reminded every time before a task starts? And honestly, like I said, it's up to you. I strongly recommend building a routine around this, and being in ClickUp. The more that you create a routine around it, the more likely you are to use it and use it for your business. So you're just going to want to keep going through all these. Make sure that you've gone through each of these to decide what you want. If you don't make any changes, you're going to probably get inundated with lots of notifications, and maybe you don't want that. So like I said, I just go through each of these, and videos that I'm going to be doing in the future will be going over how to use these things. The different parts like the chat views and the lists and the tasks and things like that. But this is the place where you can get, where you set up your notifications. Okay, so I am Amelie with Systematic Excellence Consulting, and I'll be going over the notification center in my next video. Now, if you are stuck and needing some one-on-one support, or maybe you have a more extensive project that you need help getting set up, you can book a free discovery call in the link below. Thank you so much for watching.